Hi, welcome to our video update. Today I want to talk about Rebooth remakes. Yeah. I have watched YouTube lately, and I have heard lots of rumors that they are gonna they wanna do a remake Rebooth of the Knight Rider from the 80s. And here's also a surprise. Yeah, they're going to do a Rebooth remake of the TV show Airwolf and the $6 million Man. Yeah, but didn't they learn? They did a kind of remake of Knight Riders in the 2000 when they did the TV show Knight Rider with the son of Michael Knight, and the car that they have is Kit, and the voice was played by the Kit in that car was played by the late deceased Val Kilmer. Rest in peace to you, Val Kilmer. You will be missed. Yeah. Well, you remember Val Kilmer from Top Gun? Yeah, when he played with Tom Cruise. And he was in the 80s and the 2000 of Top Gun. Yeah, Top Gun 1 and 2. And he starred also in Batman Forever in the 90s. And he got the chance. Yeah, he got the chance before he passed away to play the character that he played in the 80s in Top Gun. Yeah. He reprised his role in Top Gun Maverick. That's the second Top Gun movie in the franchise. Before he passed away. Yeah, he passed away a while after he started in that movie. So rest in peace to you. But Val Kilmer, he had the voice of Kit in the Knight Rider that was they created in 2000. Yeah. And they hope for many seasons of that show. But here's the bad news. Can you guess? Yeah, can you guess how much seasons that show got? Well, I tell you, one season. Yeah, and also they Rebooth remake MacGyver. Yeah. I watched two whole seasons with MacGyver, the new MacGyver that aired for a couple of years ago in 2015, between 2015 and 17, I believe, between there. And I watched the two whole first seasons. Well, I thought this show was great. I watched those two seasons. But end of the season 2, the second season, I decide no. This show isn't good. Well, it's the same thing all over again. You see MacGyver, you see Jack Dalton, you see that boy, that kid who create the masks and the costume that they use to capture bad guys because they went to the bad guys' place and they act like a different person to trick the bad guys. And a girl, yeah, the girl hack into every system and machines in every episode. Yeah, every episode. You see Jack Dalton, you see that kid that makes the costume for them and the mask they use, and the girl. Every episode, the same thing. But here's the old MacGyver, the MacGyver in the old days in the 80s. Yeah, well, you see, MacGyver plays ice hockey. He play baseball. He and Jack Dalton work together to fight bad guys in a couple of episodes. He works with his boss, Pete Fortin. Yeah, his boss that works in the Phoenix Foundation. Yeah, and he visits his friends and families. Yeah, he go out of town, drives and visit his grandfather a couple of times, and he visits some friends of his, and he get to know people that need help. So it's different things in the old MacGyver show. But in the new show, it's like Mission Impossible slash MacGyver slash James Bond. Yeah. So it doesn't feel like a MacGyver show. No. But it was bad, terrible. I hated that show. I didn't like that show. The new one, no. I prefer the old one with Richard Dean Anderson. But here's the bad news. Richard Dean Anderson. He don't play in any movies or TV shows in these days. No, he do something else because he don't play in many TV shows and movies as he did back in the 80s, 90s, and beginning of 2000. Yeah. And also, Richard Dean Anderson started in a band for many years ago. And he sings. Yeah, he sings. And he also played ice hockey before he started acting. So, Richard Dean Anderson, why couldn't you do the Rebooth remake? Yeah, it would be much better if you started as the MacGyver character, as we know. No, they got another person, a kid, young kid. But I like that kid who played MacGyver when he played in Hannah Montana the movie. Yeah, Hannah Montana the movie. He plays there the character where Miley falls in love with the guy on the farm. Yeah, he played good in that movie. I liked him in that movie. He played great. But as MacGyver, no. So that went bad. And the Power Rangers, they did the movie Power Rangers 2017. Well, it wasn't that good, no. I watched that movie. Here's the bad news. Goldar, that works with Rita Repulsa, the bad guy. Well, the design of him was terrible. Yeah, terrible. And Alpha, Alpha 5, I think. The robot Alpha, the design there was also terrible. Yeah. And the suits, the power suits, it reminds me of Iron Man. Yeah. So I thought, to myself, am I watching Iron Man 4 or do I watch Power Rangers? Yeah, it reminds me of Iron Man. Yeah, the suits. Yeah. And the swords. Yeah, the swords that they use. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Yeah. So that movie wasn't good. No. I didn't like that movie. So I prefer the movies that was in 1995 and 1997. Yeah. Well, in 95, Power Rangers got face to face with an evil alien creature known as the Ooze, Ivan Ooze. Yeah, you remember? He was purple in his face, and they meet him at this place, and he changed into one of the guards that worked in this area, and then he reveals himself, and he said, "Oh, my name is Ivan Ooze," and he was trapped in an egg for over 10,000 years. And Sed and Rita Repulsa, they revive him. And he said, after 10,000 years, I'm free. And afterwards he smelled, what's that awful stinks? It smells like teenagers. Yeah, something like that. And Power Rangers fights him, but there was something wrong. You know that Ivanus. How did he get into the command center without a power coin? Because everyone that has these power coins can get in and out of the power chamber. So Ivanus went to the power station where Sordon and Alpha was, and destroyed it. And later on, Power Rangers loses their powers, their ability to morph. So they went down to the commander center and find it destroyed. Sordon, the tube where Sordon were destroyed. So Sordon almost dies. Yeah. But Alpha says, oh, there's a planet. And on that planet is power. So you can find the power there. And the Alpha transported them to that planet to find the powers. So that movie I like. And 97, they help this another creature from another planet that comes to Earth and needs some help, and Power Rangers help him. Yeah, I like those two movies. And the TV show from 93 to 2023. So back to the Rebooth. So they want to remake Knight Rider and Airwolf from the 80s and $6 Million Man from the 70s. Well, it could be dangerous, yeah, to remake a TV show or make the TV shows into a movie. It could be dangerous. Because out there are some people that watched these TV shows back in the 80s and 70s that fell in love with them, those TV shows. They fell in love with those TV shows and they liked the TV shows. And they don't want any reboot remakes because they love and liked the actors and the story that those TV shows um, presents, like like Airwolf. Yeah, Airwolf. We have Sean Michael Vincent as Stringfellow Hawk. We got Ernest Burgeen as um, Santini, and and we got uh, um, Knight Rider with David Hasselhoff as Michael Knight, and we got Lee Majors as Steve Austin in the $6 Million Man. Yeah, and we've grown up with these shows. We grow up. We were young back in the 70s and the 80s, and we grow up with these TV shows. And now they want to bring them back with new people, new actors. You know that if you brought new actors to these shows, it will not work because those actors maybe wasn't born in the 70s and the 80s, no, and they don't know what is Airwolf all about, Knight Rider all about, and the $6 Million all about. Yeah, so it could be dangerous, and also the consequences will happen. Yeah, so the people that wants to reboot remakes all of these shows have to pay the consequences. Yeah, because because all of the people, maybe half of the people, and that are in the world, in these countries, grown up with these TV shows. They love the TV show. They watch the TV shows every weekend, maybe every Saturday, maybe every Friday, or every week. And they love to watch them. And they got the old TV shows and on the DVDs and Blu-rays, and and now they're gonna bring it back with other characters and actresses. Yeah, and well, these new actors and actresses, they some of them can't play these characters that was in those TV shows very well because they have to when they play their characters in those TV shows, people know that, oh, that actor didn't play that character very well. No. And that actress didn't play that woman very well. Like they did Wonder Woman. Yeah, Wonder Woman. Those two movies. I am an old school. Yeah. So I prefer the TV show. Linda Carter. Yeah, Linda Carter. She played Wonder Woman in the TV show back in the day. Yeah. So I prefer to see the TV show. I watched the trailers of those two movies, but no, I didn't like them. Sorry. So if they want to reboot, remake Airwolf, Knight Rider, and the $6 Million Man, if they want to create a TV show or a movie of these TV shows, well, you have problems. You have consequences also. Like, like they did, they reboot, remake Bionic Woman. Yeah. With another character, that another actress, another actress that plays the character Jamie in that original, yeah, Summers, Jamie Summers. Yeah. But here's the bad news. It run for only one season with a couple of episodes. Yeah. So it was waste of money, you know, to create a TV show, a reboot remake of a TV show. Yeah. And you only get one season with maybe six episodes. It's waste of money, man. You know. So think before you speak, and think before you decide to make a reboot remake of Airwolf and Knight Rider and $6 Million Man, because it has consequences. Yeah. And it has problems. It has flaws. Yeah. Like they did when they remade Doctor Who. Yeah. They didn't call it series 15 and 16. No. They call it season 1 and season 2. Yeah. So, Doctor Who. Yeah, well, I am a huge fan of Doctor Who. Yeah, and I have watched the first season with Nogatti Gatwa. It was great. But the bubble episode that calls something with a bubble, that a girl has a bubble around her head, that episode wasn't good. No. But the rest of the episode, okay. I haven't watched the entire season 2 yet. No, I haven't. But I watched clips here and there of the season. So I'm gonna try to watch season 2 very soon. So create a reboot remake of a movie or a TV show could be dangerous. And when it gets dangerous, it has consequences. Because people out there thinks, oh, let's do a reboot remake of Batman. Yeah, they have created lots of movies with Batman through the years. Yeah. And TV shows, they have created live action TV shows, they have created cartoons and animated shows of Batman, they have created movies. Yeah. So think before you decide to create a reboot remake, because problems and consequences will follow. And the TV show they did, Knight Rider, the reboot remake in 2000, when they wanted the father and son. Well, they had a Knight Rider, the first pilot with David Hasselhoff. He reprised his role in the first pilot, but not in the rest of the episodes. And it was run for one season. And maybe into the mud. Yeah. Well, they tried. Yeah, they tried to remake Knight Rider in the 90s with the team Knight Rider. I heard that was also bad, terrible. But I like that show. I like that show when they did the Team Knight Rider. I like that show. I like it. I love it. Um. So And well, here's my opinion about the rumors I heard about they're gonna do Rebooth about Airwolf, Knight Rider, and $6 Million Man. I think it's a terrible idea. A terrible, bad idea. Yeah. It may be it maybe don't work. No. Well, you get maybe you get an actor, an actresses to play the parts of Michael Knight and Kit and Devon Miles and Bonnie and the other characters in Knight Rider. And also you get some characters to play Stringfellow Hawk, Santini in Airwolf, and also the lady, the woman that plays there. Yeah. So it will not work because these actors and actresses don't know Airwolf, the story. No. They say, oh, we watched some clips on YouTube. So we're ready. And they play, say they play the pilot episode, the first episode, 1.5 hour maybe long pilot future length episode. And they try to show it to panel a few people they invite that are a fan of Airwolf, the original TV show. They invite a couple of people in the room and they watch that episode. And here's the bad news. Everyone hates it. They don't like it at all. No. Because Airwolf, the original show, have the spark. It has action, it has drama, and it has explosions, it has bad guys, villains, and it has the heroes. Stringfellow Hawk and Santini. Yeah. They are the ones that got Airwolf. And they know where Airwolf is. And later on, they have a woman join them in Airwolf. Yeah. So, it will not work. And the technology now, these days, they have CGI. But they hadn't CGI back in the 80s. No. They have special effects, they have something. But all the CGI that we have now, it seems like when you watch a movie like like Guardians of the Galaxy, the second movie. I watched it with Kurt Russell. Yeah, Kurt Russell plays a part in that movie as well. In that movie, middle in that movie, there was a scene. In that scene, it seems like you are playing a video game with all this CGI effect. Yeah, it seems like you are playing a video game and you're watching a video game. Yeah. You know that all the CGI that they use in movies and TV shows ruins the scenes. Yeah. Because some of the CGI don't work. Like in the Mummy. Yeah, you see Mummy, the second one with Brandon Fraser. Yeah. When you see the second movie, you see that the big scorpion was played by Dwayne Rock Johnson. You saw that CGI effect in that movie. That was terrible scene. Yeah. they could make that scene much, much better. Yeah. But they didn't. They just throw it in there. A terrible scorpion scene. And well, also in Doctor Who, yeah, when you see the sixth Doctor, Colin Baker, yeah, but he didn't reprise his role. So you have to see Sylvester McCoy with a blonde wig, and he regenerates to the Seventh Doctor in the beginning of Time and the Rani, the episode called Time and the Rani. Well, that scene, that regeneration scene, was terrible. Yeah, terrible. But the episode in itself, okay. But I didn't like that episode anyway. It's one of the episodes I don't like with Doctor Who, Time and the Rani. But here's the bad news. I still watch the episode occasionally. Yeah. But I don't like it. I don't like that episode. No. But I still watch it. Yeah. So also create a reboot remake could be dangerous. Like Walt Disney, yeah, Disney has created lots of reboot remake. Now they dropped on Disney Plus for a couple of days ago. They dropped Lilo and Stitch live action. But the movie, there were some scenes at the end of the movie that was a little different from the cartoon movie. Yeah, it was a little different. So her sister goes to a place, a school or something, to get her degree or something, and then she walks into a time portal into Lilo's bedroom. Well, that didn't happen in the cartoon, the movie. No, when you see the movie, the cartoon, you see that they build the house up because the house were destroyed. So they build it up with a sleeping room, the bedroom of Lilo, on the top of the roof. Yeah. So it was a little other ending. It didn't end like the cartoon. No, it ends a little different. But it was a good movie. I watched it. It was good. I liked it. And well, also they reboot remake The Lion King and Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast and other cartoons that they have create movies through the years. Lady and the Tramp, they have reboot remade into live action. Yeah, I like that movie, the cartoon, and I like the live action movie of Lady and the Tramp. Yeah, I like them. So they have reboot remake lots of their movies. Yeah. And now I heard when I watched this video on YouTube, yeah, for a couple of hours ago, that they're gonna reboot Airwolf, Knight Rider, and $6 Million Man. I grow up with those shows. I grow up with them. I like the shows where they are. Yeah, they are classics from the 80s and the 70s. So don't make reboots or remakes of these shows. No, don't, because it don't work. Like the Power Rangers they did back in 2017. Yeah. Oh, let's create a Power Rangers movie, and we put the Power Rangers in there, and we put the opening, and let's see how they get their powers, how they got their swords, and how they get their suits, and how they get to know Sordon and Alpha and the bad guys in there and the swords. Terrible. The script were terrible. It wasn't a good movie. It was so bad. Yeah, waste of money. Yeah, I rented the movie. Yeah, I rented the movie on my decoder, channel digital. It called first, and now many years later they changed the name to Atlante. Yeah, I rented the movie. It was terrible, waste of money. And now, don't reboot remake. It has consequences, and it has problems, and the actors and the actress that's gonna play these parts. People out there will know. Yeah, they will know because they grow up with those shows, and they know the characters in those shows. Yeah, they know. So they will maybe watch one or two episodes if they're create TV shows of those old shows, or maybe they will watch a couple of minutes of the movies that they're gonna do, and they will know. Yeah. Oh, that the actor plays that character bad. Yeah. So, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't watch if they're gonna reboot Airwolf, Knight Rider, or $6 Million Man. No, I don't want to watch those shows or movies like they did with Miami Vice. Yeah, they took the TV show and turned it into a movie and put some other people in the movie to play Tubbs and Sonny Crockett. Yeah, I watched a little part of that movie. Didn't like it at all. So I prefer to watch Don Johnson as Sonny Crockett. And Michael Philip Thomas, who played Tubbs. Yeah, I prefer to watch the old TV show instead. Yeah. So don't create reboot remakes of these shows, okay? Don't. It will not work. No, it doesn't. The special effects and CGI that we got these days wasn't the same as we had in the 70s and the 80s. You know where I'm going with this? So leave Airwolf, Knight Rider, and $6 Million Man alone. Let them be the only one in their existence. Okay? Because the consequences and the problems will follow. And then, to those they're going to create these shows as reboots and remakes, yeah, they will know in the end, oh, it was waste of money. Now we lost lots of billions of dollars. Yeah. And then you're broke. Oh, we're broke because we made a remake of these shows, and we lost lots of money because the people didn't like the remake of those shows. Like Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, here's the problem. I like the old show from the 70s and the show that was in the 80s because they released second season in 1980. Yeah, so we called Battlestar Galactica 1980, and it runs for 10 episodes. Yeah, I love that old show, but the new show, not that much. The only I got of that show is the two first episodes that they did. The 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 first two episodes they did a little two pilots that they did. This is the first two episodes they did, yeah, of the new show, Battlestar Galactica, the two parts mini show that they did, mini series, yeah, they did. So it was 1.5 hour, you know. It's only I got this, and I got the movie that called The Plan. These two is the only thing I got of the new show. Because I don't like the new show very much. Because it doesn't feel the Battlestar Galactica. No, it doesn't feel like Battlestar Galactica at all. And it don't have the spark. And well, when you see it, the camera is moving. Oh, am I watching an earthquake? Earthquake? Or am I watching Battlestar Galactica? Oh, it's an earthquake. Your camera goes like this. Follow the characters. In the original, back in the 70s, you see the camera stands still, and the scenes goes much better. Yeah. And I know that the guy who plays in Miami Vice, the old TV show, is in the new Battlestar Galactica. I know. Well, he's great in Miami Vice. He plays awesome in Miami Vice, but in that TV show, Battlestar Galactica, the new show, well, I can watch it. Yeah, I can watch it here and there when maybe it's on TV or, I can watch the episodes. But I prefer the old show. Yeah. I got the entire Battlestar Galactica, the old show. Yeah, I got on the DVD, I got these two on DVD. Yeah, the pilot, the 2 hour pilot I got here. And I got another called the Mission. Yeah, Mission Galactica, the Silent Attack. Yeah. Also. But more of Battlestar Galactica later. Because I'm going to do a little collection video some point in the future. So 2004 was the year they released Battlestar Galactica, the new Rebooth. I watched some of the episodes on TV. Well, I tried to record the episodes on VHS, but why? why do they reboot, remake old TV show? When they say when the TV show, the original TV show, is a great show, is a popular show, people love that show, and many years later, oh, let's create that TV show again with new people. Yeah. So here we are, 21 years later. Yeah. So please don't reboot, remake Airwolf, Knight Rider, or $6 Million Man. Don't. Don't waste your money to recreate these TV shows. Don't. Let them be the only one in their existence. Let they be a classic. Yeah. And if you try to reboot, remake these shows, they will not be the classics no more. No. Then we have new Airwolf, new Knight Rider, new $6 Million Man. Yeah. Don't. Waste of money. Yeah. And well, the Twilight Saga. Yeah, here's bad news about that as well. Well, in the 90s, there was a movie. There was a movie called Twilight with Susan Sheridan, Gene Hackman, Reese Witherspoon. It was a thriller or an action thriller of some kind. And here's the bad news. Couple of years later, in 2000, let's release Twilight. But in this version, we're going to have vampires, we're going to have werewolves, and call it Twilight Saga. See what I'm going with this? It was a movie back in the late 90s that was called Twilight. Yeah. And many years before that, I believe in the 60s or 70s or maybe the 50s, it was a TV show called The Twilight Zone that also named Twilight with zone at the end of the title. Yeah. So why do people create, let's create a TV show and call it Twilight, or a movie, call it Twilight, when it's Twilight Zone, Twilight Saga? Yeah. And people say, I watched Twilight. You watched the werewolf and the vampires. No. But that's the only movie we know. Yeah, but there was a movie before that in the 90s with Reese Witherspoon, Gene Hackman, and Susan Sheridan. Yeah. So creates a reboot, remake of a TV show or a movie could be dangerous. And it has consequences, and it's going to cost you big bucks, many millions of dollars, if you lose. Because Terminator, Rise of the Machines, Salvation, Genesis, and Dark Fate, straight in the mud. So they should stop create Terminator movies, because Terminator 1 back in the 80s and Terminator 2 in the beginning of the 90s was good. People loved them. They were awesome. And 2000 came. Let's create Terminator movies again. Rise of the Machines, Salvations, and Genesis. Those three movies didn't have James Cameron. No, he didn't create those movies. Straight in the mud. And before they released Dark Fate, I watched an interview with Tim Miller and James Cameron. Oh, we're going to clean up the mess that the three other movies did. 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. Terminators. So they cleaned up that and they erased that from the franchise. And the TV show, Sarah Chronicles, erased it. And then they create Dark Fate. But here's the bad news. James Cameron didn't have anything to do with this movie. No. He just gave the chair, the chair, the director chair, to Tim Miller. Here you go. You can direct the movie now. And I'm going to retire because I'm going to create Avatar. Avatar movies. I am going to create those movies now. So you have to create Terminators. Straight into the mud. So James Cameron did a bad thing there. Yeah, he gave away his baby. Like George Lucas, he gave away his baby, Star Wars. And that was a problem. And consequences followed. Waste of money. Yeah, let's borrow some money. Let's borrow, say, $500 million and create a TV show of the Knight Rider. Yeah, and we're going to hope that we're going to create lots of seasons. Yeah, create a pilot, and show it to our network. Sorry, we don't like that Rebooth remake. Sorry. No one wants to pick it up. No TV network. As Mr. Ed, the talking horse. Yeah. The black and white TV show from the 60s. It was a Rebooth remake. In the 90s, I believe. Yeah. One episode, the pilot. No network picked that up. No, they weren't interested. Because we have a TV show called Mr. Ed already that we love and enjoyed. So what do we heck need another TV show with Mr. Ed for? As we don't need another TV show that calls The Knight Rider, Airwolf, or $6 Million Man. No, we don't need it. We already have it. Yeah, Lee Majors as Steve Austin in $6 Million Man. David Hasselhoff as Michael Knight in Knight Rider. Sean Michael Vincent and Ernst Bergin as Stringfellow Hawk and Santini. Yeah, in Airwolf. We already have them. Why do we need Rebooth remake for? Because it's a waste of money and it's not going to work. So, people, you don't use your brain. No. You use your bum to sync with. Every time. Because you want a Rebooth remake of every TV show, every movies that was released through the years. Some of them Some of them, yeah, some of them worked, some of them didn't, some of them people liked, and some of them people didn't. So if you're gonna do a reboot of Airwolf, $6 Million Man, and Knight Rider, how many money do you gonna get after it's gonna fail? 0. And it's waste of money. Yeah, if you got $500 million to use in these TV shows, it's waste of money. And then you have to pay 500 millions plus the extra that follows. So maybe you have to pay $600 million back to the bank. You borrowed 500 millions, and then no, don't. My advice to you: don't create any Rebooth remake. No, don't, because it's not going to work. You know, the technology, the special effects in these days will not work. We had special effects back in the day that worked and were awesome. But in these days, there can be some problems and consequences to use. And it will not work. No. Well, thank you for listening, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. And please subscribe. And please put the thumb up. And, well, I hope to see you in another video of a video update. And maybe later we could talk about something else. So I hope to see you there in another video. And also it's gonna, continue with the collection video, Sarah Michelle Gellar in Buffy. I got 2 more seasons to show you, and some random videos. DVDs, I mean. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for putting the thumb up. And if you have watched the movie till the end, well, hashtag don't make a reboot or a remake. Don't make a reboot or a remake. That's the hashtag. Bye.